Grandma, you can't understand Taehyung. Grandma left the place. Lily followed her because she wanted to get rid of the sari. You stood looking at Grandma's retiring figure sadly. You saw Taehyung observing you. Taehyung, you too? You, huh? Taehyung, why are you nervous? You shook your head like nothing. Taehyung, aren't you nervous? You, no, I mean yes. Taehyung, yes or no? You, yes. Taehyung, why? You, what sister said is right. It's a bad woman. Taehyung rolled his eyes. You look disturbed. Why these women were thinking negatively? Taehyung sighed. Taehyung, by the way, you look gorgeous in this sari. You widen your eyes, hearing such unexpected words from Taehyung. You tried to go away from him, but Taehyung came in front of you, blocking your way. As you didn't expect it, you flinched back and stumbled. Taehyung pulled you close to him, suckling your shoulders. It was nothing but a hug. Taehyung stood, closing his eyes, inhaling your sweet smell. You looked at him perplexed, pushing him a little harder. You came out of his arms. You took a few steps away from him. Taehyung, he called you with a rough tone. You looked at him hesitatingly. Taehyung, can I get tea? You walked to the kitchen and said nothing. Taehyung walked to his room, smirking. Let you come to his room. In kitchen, Harley saw you getting in. Harley, do you want anything? You sister now. You, Taehyung asked for tea. Harley, shall I? He asked me. You started preparing tea, and Harley said nothing this time. You gave the cup to Harley. You, please give it to Taehyung. Harley, he asked you, right? You, I have important work. You stuffed the cup in his hand and left the kitchen. Harley frowned. Why did she look upset? He thought. Taehyung room. He brought the cup to Taehyung room. Taehyung rolled his eyes, seeing Harley. Harley, Taehyung brother tea. Taehyung, I didn't ask you. Harley, but you asked you. She is the one who prepared it for you. Taehyung, then why did you bring it? Harley, she said she has important work. Taehyung, important work? Taehyung murmured. Taehyung, where did she go? Harley, she went to Grandma's room. Taehyung came. Taehyung had the tea and came to Grandma's room. When he was about to enter her room, he stopped listening to Yu's question. Grandma room, you, doesn't brother-in-law have any relatives? Grandma, no daughter, he has no one. You, no one means? Grandma, he's an orphan. He studied with Ara in the same college. He is a senior. They liked each other. Ara waited for him until he completed his law. You, brother-in-law loves sister very much, isn't it? Grandma, of course, he loves Sarah more than anyone does. You, could you tell me about them? Grandma nodded smilingly. Grandma, they got married after Scott completed his law. After their wedding, he wanted to take her to his house, but Ara was not ready to leave her young. So Scott agreed to settle down here as he also has no one. But from the time he got married to Ara, he is giving the share of money from their expenses and staying in Kim Mansion. You really? Grandma, yes. He always wants Ara to spend his money. You, oh, like Ara's sister loved Young very much, brother-in-law also loves sister-in-law much, right? Grandma, of course, no doubt in it. You, I think brother-in-law would like to spend not only his money but also his time, right? Grandma, yeah, after the young accident, Scott is the one who took Kim Mansion responsibility into his hand. He supported Ara like anything. Whenever she called him, he would be in front of her within a few minutes, no matter how busy he had been. Taehyung had no clue what made you inquire about Scott all of a sudden. That too in this abnormal situation. He didn't get anything. Was this matter related to her nervousness? What could be the reason, he thought. You, did priest say any remediation, Grandma? Grandma, he will say in the evening, dear. Your sister is scared. Grandma, ha dear, it's because it is really a bad woman. You don't worry, Grandma, everything will be alright. Grandma, I hope so. In living room, you left the room plastering a smile. Taehyung hid behind a pillar and noticed you. You looked more nervous than before. You pressed your head and rushed to your room. Taehyung shrank his eyes. Something was terribly wrong with Scott and you found out something about it. He guessed. He was right. The reason for your nervousness was that it was Scott who burnt Tara's saree and you saw it coincidentally. In newsroom, you was thinking about Scott's action of burning Ara's saree and trying hard to connect the dots. Somewhat you succeed too. If your guess was right, you should not be quiet anymore. Scott might do anything to hurt Taehyung. However, you had to alert Taehyung. Before that, you had to talk to Arya. It was necessary for Arya to know that Scott did. Taking your mobile, you called Arya. His phone was engaged. You signed. Of course, he was Arya after all. No wonder if phone was engaged. Even though if we blocked a number, we can still call the number, but they couldn't. They won't receive notifications too. You thought Arya would call you, seeing your missed call, but he was never going to get notification from your number because we knew Taeyang blocked his number. You sat on the bed wearily. Suddenly your heartbeat raised when remembered Taeyang penetrating gaze and a killer smirk. You pressed your heart, closing your eyes. You could not understand what was there in his mind. You were sure that he was trying to come close to you, but with that what intention he was doing that? You knew A to Z about mentally ill Taeyang, but understanding Kim Taeyang was next to impossible. Or he was trying to touch you only for entertainment because it is all very casual to touch men. You were sure about one thing, he didn't hate you. The thought gave solace to your mind. He got home that Taeyang would accept you as his wife. If he got to know the truth, you smiled with an adorable blush. Living room. Taeyang was also thinking about you and also about your suddenly changed. Your weird behavior. Something was fearfully wrong. Maybe the reason for your weird behavior was Scott. If it was so, he should not be coming more. Keeping an enemy at his own house was dangerous like hell. He might do anything anytime, but what do Scott try to do? He don't do anything in Kim office in his absence. He could have stepped into Kim office and could have gotten into full control in his hand. But he didn't do that. Then what the hell he wants? Taeyang knew Scott didn't like you. You would have also know that. Was that why you nervous? He should not understand Scott. He was a lawyer. He knew each and every loophole of law. He didn't know what Scott had done against him so far. Only a lawyer could think like a lawyer. So he wanted to discuss it with his lawyer, Mr. Ryan, about it as soon as possible. Before that, he was to see Scott's reaction to something. In Ara and Scott's room, they headed to Ara's room. He slowed down his steps and walked sharpening his ears, expecting Scott to talk something with Ara, but they talked nothing. Tang entered the room, observing Scott's expression. Scott's facial expression changed for 2 seconds, and he smiled at Tang, composing himself. Tang, are you alright, sister? Asked sitting next to Ara. Circling her shoulder, Ara nodded yes slightly. Tang, you can say that with a smile. Said that with a smile. Ara pouted. Tang, so you are not yet out of it? Ara made a face. Taeyang, okay, so you have decided to make me starve today, it seems. Ara, why Taeyang asked shockingly. Taeyang, I'm hungry. How could I eat anything if you are sad? Ara, go and eat something. Taeyang, please. Taeyang, no way, I won't eat until you eat. Come and eat something. Ara, Taeyang. Okay, keep crying. I'm going. Taeyang stood up. Ara clenched his hand. That made Taeyang smile. Ara, wait. Taeyang looked at her, turning his head. Ara, I will eat. Taeyang, come. Taeyang brought Ara to the dining. Dining room. Taehyung, Harley, yes, Taehyung, brother. Taehyung, call everyone to have lunch. He intentionally called everyone. Harley, okay. Harley called everyone and they gathered at dining, including you. Are you alright, sister? Ara nodded yes. Lily, sister, your sari is so good. Scott, it's my selection, said proudly. Lily, is this the sari you brought yesterday? Ara, yeah, this is the sari Scott bought me for today's prayer. That changer used facial expression and Taehyung noticed it. Scott, you might have dropped this sari instead of the first one. Then that fire accident would not have taken place, said feeling sad. You was drawing pattern on your plate silently. Lily, Appa, you said you will take you to Kim office today? Then, of course, I said, but the happening of Kim Mansion made everyone sad. Then how could I go to Kim office today? I cancelled the program. Lily, then go tomorrow. Then, okay, what say you? You, huh? Then, shall we go to Kim office tomorrow? You, okay. Then waited until everyone finished eating because if he start what he wanted, they might leave the lunch half finished. So he waited and then slowly started. Taehyung, sister, I wanted to tell you something. Ara, what Taehyung? Taehyung, we are so lucky to have brother-in-law with us. Scott stopped eating and looked at Taehyung awestruck. And Dara looked at Scott with pride, very super but down heart. Lily, of course, Appa, you have no idea how much brother-in-law stand for her when you pressed at that before she uttered a mental irritation. Lily, I mean in the coma stage. Lily managed. Taehyung smiled at Scott. Grandma, huh, Taehyung, if Scott wasn't there in Kim Mansion, we would have struggled like hell. You mind, he is the only reason for your every struggle, Grandma. You thought in your mind. Ara, by the way, Taehyung, why did you say we are lucky to have him? Asked curiously. Taehyung, yeah, brother-in-law want me to settle down in my life, said noticing Scott, who was horrified. All of them looked at Scott, frowning. Taehyung, he is even ready to search for a rich, distressed bride of me. Taehyung saw everyone eyes widen in shock. Then he doesn't want me to get compromised in getting married to a rich girl. Ara glared at Scott, gritting her teeth. Then, because he wants me, the pride should be equal to my capability. All the eyes were on you, who was looking at her plate. They could feel your anxiety. Of course, Taeyang also. Ara, did you talk to Taeyang about his wedding? Asked Scott, controlling her butt. Scott, I just cutting him. Taeyang. So what, sister? Doesn't he have the responsibility to make me settle down? Ara closed her eyes with annoyance. She left the place furiously, and Scott followed her nervously. Dang, what happened to sister? I thought she would appreciate him, said looking at Tara and Scott. Liquidly and Grandma was fed up. You left the place all distressed. Dang, what happened to you? Asked blindly. Lily looked at Grandma helplessly, who headed to her room. Lily also followed Grandma, whereas Taeyang followed his wife to see what she would do. In the meanwhile, Ara and Scott room. Scott followed Ara to their room all stressed. Scott, princess, he tried to clutch her hand. Ara struck his hand off. Ara, enough, Scott. This is a limit. How dare you to talk to Young about finding a rich girl? Scott, I just tried to know his interest in marriage. Ara, is this how would you try? Don't tell yourself a lawyer. Shame on you, Scott. She sneered. Scott, princess, don't I have rats in the family? Ara, right, my food. If you use your right this way, it is better you don't have any rights in this family. She spat, pirating. Scott, okay, I don't want any rights. Let's go to our house then. Ara, have you gone mad? You'll leave Kim Mansion or else you will do rubbish. Does it make sense? Scott, I just want to know what is in Taehyung's mind. Ara, why didn't you say anything to me about it? How could you do that without my consent? Who will trust you if you do such cheap things? Scott, cheap? Ara, then what? Didn't you see your face? I just can't face you. She is here because of me, but you are making her life horrible. I didn't expect this from you, Scott. I never expected this from you. Scott, princess, please don't get tensed. I will talk to Taehyung. Ara joined her hands with annoyance. Ara, enough. Just stop it. I know what to do. Scott, what are you going to do? Ara, I am going to tell Taehyung the truth. Scott was horrified. Scott, princess, please don't make a decision in haste. It's my give the worst output. Don't play with you's life. Ara, it is not me but you. Scott, please don't blame me, princess. You are treating me like I intentionally spoiled your life. Ara, will you prove no? Scott, what you want me to do? Tell me, I will surely do it. But don't think of telling the truth to Taehyung. Ara, why? She pushed him wrathfully. Scott, don't you understand Taehyung's mind? He too wants a rich girl as his wife. Didn't you sense it from his tone? Then what will you do if he says on your face that he doesn't like you? Ara got stuck for a while and she composed herself. Ara, I know how to talk to him. Scott up, princess. Ara stopped him, showing her palm. On the other side your room. You who came to your room was also thinking the same. You was happy as Taehyung tried to get close to you, but now you doubted his intention because getting close to many girls was very normal in a rich man's life. It seems he wanted to marry a rich girl. You took your mangasit out, which you had been pinning inside your blouse. You cried looking at your Mangalsutra, closing your eyes. You let your tears out, biting your lip. Scott, tension. You didn't even close the door. Taehyung, who followed you, tightening his jaw, seeing your Mangalsutra as well as your tears. He walked inside the room, pushing the door. You stood up shockingly by Taehyung's sudden entry. You were horrified as Taehyung's eyes were on your Mangalsutra. Taehyung, are you married? Asked, showing disbelief and also disappointed on his face. You cursed yourself as you didn't know whether you could tell him the truth or not. Just a few minutes ago, you heard him happily talking about getting married to a rich girl. What will he do if he got to know his wife wasn't a rich girl but belonged to a middle class? You clenched your sari pallu with teary eyes. Taehyung, why did you hide it? Everyone knows, you stammered. You saw dissatisfaction on his face because he expected you to say, yes, I married to you. As it didn't happen, he became dissatisfied. He knew what made you hesitate. Yet he thought wanted you to tell him the truth. He wanted you to take your rights. But no, you didn't. It seemed he should search for some other way to get the truth from you. Taehyung started taking back steps, showing no expression on his face. He left the place hurriedly, as he could not see your tears. You was broken down. You didn't know what Taehyung thought of you. He knew you were showing an extreme level of concern for him. Didn't he think being a married woman, how could you do so? What should you do now? You rushed to Grandma's room. Grandma saw your face and understood you was in deep turmoil. Grandma's room. Grandma, you dear, what happened? You hugged Grandma and sobbed. Grandma, you. Taehyung got to know I am married woman, Grandma. Grandma, but how? The absence of Kim Action made me distraught. I was in my room looking at my Mangalsutra. Taehyung entered my room like a storm and saw my Mangalsutra. I don't know what he think of me. Grandma, relax you. I am going to talk to Ara about telling the truth to Taehyung. No, grandma, not now. I think he is also interested in getting married to a rich girl. Grandma, maybe. That's why it is necessary to tell him that we should not let it grow. We will do something about it. You nodded okay and came to your room. You wanted to call Arya immediately. You dialed his number and it was engaged because Lily was talking with Arya about what happened in Kim Mang. Lily, Arya, I think we are unwantedly wasting time. We have to tell Appa about his wedding with you. Arya, what do you think about Kim Taehyung? Lily, I don't know, Arya. I am scared to see a smile on his face while talking about his wedding with a rich girl. What if he doesn't accept you? Arya, relax. I will find it out what's there in his mind when I meet him the next time. Lily, but cutting her, Arya, I know how to do it. You don't worry. Lily, thank you, Arya. Arya. By the way, why your voice sound different? Lily, yeah, throat pain. Arya, then don't talk much. Give your voice a rest. Lily, Arya, good night. Lily, bye. They discussed the call. Arya thought about what to do and how to talk to Taehyung about you. The next day, you called Arya in the morning. Arya attended the call without delay. Arya, how are you? I am trying to talk to you for 2 days, but your number is always busy. Arya, easy. I didn't get any missed call from your number. I want to tell you a very important matter. Arya, tell me. Did Lily tell you about the fire accident that happened yesterday? Arya, yeah, she told me and felt sad. It is not an accident, brother. Arya, not an accident means it was brother-in-law who burned sister Sari. Arya, what? Yes, I saw him doing that. Arya, what the hell? But why? I can't understand that madman. But I understand, brother. Arya, do you know why he did that? Yes, because he loves sister very much. Arya, what rubbish. Yes, brother. He banned the sari because Taehyung bought the sari. She preferred Taehyung's sari over his. He asked her to wear his sari after the fire accident. He is jealous of Taehyung. He doesn't like Taehyung to be sister's top priority. That was why he should have made Taehyung a mental patient. Arya was speechless. Even though he could not believe it, he could not ignore it too. Yes, God loved Ara very much. He had no one other than Ara. Ara loved Taehyung more than anyone. Her top priority was always Taehyung. That was why she didn't hesitate to get you married to Taehyung. You brother? Arya, no. I don't think Scott made Kim Taehyung mad. He might have taken the situation in his favor. But someone's hand is there. We have to do something very hurriedly, brother. I don't know what else he would do. And one more thing, that was when you heard. Grandma coming to Lily's room. She has a high temperature. What? From Arya? What happened? Lily has a high fever. Brother, I will call you later. Arya, okay, you disconnect the call without telling him that he got to know her married. You rush to Lily room. Lily looked tired as she had a high fever. The doctor came and injected her and prescribed medicine. Grandma, Ara, call the doctor priest and say we will come tomorrow. Ara, okay, Dharma, why sister? Ara, priest asked us to come today to say the redemption for the fire accident. How could we go when Lily has a fever? I am Mia's sister. I will be with Lily. You and Grandma go to priest. Ara looked at Grandma who nodded okay. You sat with Lily. You didn't see Taehyung in Kin Mansion. Don't know where he did go. Taehyung reached Mr. Roy's residence as he wanted to meet Roy in person. He wanted to discuss with him something important, as many things in his life unexpectedly. He didn't want anyone to know about it, so he decided to meet Roy in his residence.